It's
And
another tangent.
it is nonetheless true.
I'm not going to argue with you.
It's not an argument, it's a fact. I'm trying to say that regardless of if you can actually look at a slab and see the person with inside and chip away what doesn't belong, I'm merely saying you need to pay attention. Because if you are so boggled down on one thing or so focused you can't see everything else, then what's the point?
You'll miss a lot. So that's probably a good segue into the other thing that you seem to be quoted, well, not quoted, but realized as that ideas having to do with one realm of expression, art or science, should be informed with the other, I think is the term was used, should be translated into the other. That the discipline of medicine should not be excluded of art, of science, that everything, as you had stated earlier, that they are all related. And so that inclusion is the way the universe works, as from what I understand. So can you talk about that?
I will backtrack a bit, and when we went back to the reason why I dissected humans is because, well, figured in the knowledge or how to know what works and how we work is beneficial. So many years later, hundreds of years later, when this continues and we are learning more about the human body, our medicine is improving. And we actually have less people dying because we are ignorant of our own bodies. And that's a mind frame that I wanted to pass down. And it may not have been from me directly, but there have been others who've been taught the same way as I am that have passed that down.
Or that people can receive inspiration from you getting your hands dirty, so to speak. I mean, the willingness to explore new ideas.
Let me ask you this. What is the expected lifespan of a human being?
Well,
here in a let's just do the United States because I'm pretty sure it varies, but here in the United States, what is your lifespan expectancy?
Probably I'd say at least 80. 75, 80, 85. 90 is extraordinary, really.
I was told I'd be dead by the time I was 42.
Well, the fact that you lived till 67 is quite a testament that, you surpassed the expectation of your lifespan. Would you call it because of the perpetual exploration of your world and the creative outlets?
It did make a difference to actually do what you enjoy. And there's always the parts that you don't, obviously.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we were going to be perfect, we wouldn't incarnate, for sure. So I'd like to talk about being Leonardo, that the scope of your curiosity and how that drove your life.
I've already explained there's always something percolating
right.
in my mind.
But was it just an ebb and a flow of, ooh, I like this, and then you move on to something else, and there was nothing,
I would have to say I had a hard time sleeping because there's always something, the lights were always on, as you say.
Wow. So how many hours of sleep did you get a night, on average, when you were probably in your height of the Renaissance man?
4 or 5. There's also some inspirations that I got from dreams, and then, of course, certain things did not go out so well. Everyone's like, why is he up?
They go on full scale alert. Okay, why is he up? What do we need? What's wrong? Well, and I had imagined, you don't have these lovely lights and computers and...
No, in the dark, and there's been more than one time where I just reach for ink and there goes the candle onto our paper.
And then your idea goes,
Yes, and I go,
well, you must burn the bottom of your hands.
well, yes, but at the time I'm like, no, save, I worked on that.
Uh,
Well, let me put it to you this way. Flesh can heal, paper cannot.
That's true. And then your divine spark of humanity. Someone had said that I read that you were so good at expressing through form. You know, whether it's the machines that you predicted that actually got invented, the anatomy of the human body, the form of art that you put together and actually made a new part of. I can't remember the term. But was there a part of you that was always in perpetual motion with learning and discovering and being more than what you were told you could be?
Yes. And there's always those who would try to put you down. I was declared insane on several occasions. And I just did what I could to move on.
Well, how is your belief system with, you know, when someone believes something very strongly, then life seems to come and manifest the exact, you know, energy of what they believe about themselves. So how were you able to move past, you know, an oppressive situation, or, you know, your family life, how you grew up, and, you know, everything? I mean, it's to be very clear driven from the inside.
Well, think of it like this. When you die, do you really want to be told that you didn't really do anything but do as you were told, or do within the parameters of they said you could do?
I would think from that perspective, no.
And there's your answer.
But how did you know in that time frame and in that body? Was there someone who lit the spark, so to speak?
Regardless of where that spark comes from, you just know that you make a direction this way or that way. It can't scientifically or mathematically prove it, but you can see it in art. You can see that anomaly that allows human beings to take control over their own destiny. And when used properly, you see people accomplish great things.